once we started cutting down the roster to 53 men, the Cowboys getting their practice squad together today, there were a couple of cuts, Medford, that I think people had themselves in their feelings a little bit. And to me, I just found it a little weird because, for example, Isaiah Land played really well for the Cowboys. Did he not, Medford? Good preseason.
Oh, yeah.
Good training camp.
Really athletic guy.
Good preseason. Good training camp.
Don't point at me.
You weren't paying attention.
Look, brother, Florida A&M, stand up, right? Shout out to the Rattlers.
Yeah,
right? Shout out to an HBCU
right.
baller. There's a long legacy of great HBCU players in the NFL and all that. Preseason football. Buddy,
that wasn't it
you want me to watch intently in the trenches? You asking a lot right now, buddy.
But he played well, and he was released by the Cowboys, and he was picked up by the Indianapolis Colts.
People were like, man, we was hoping and praying to get him back on the practice squad.
They were wanting him back on the practice squad.
That's right.
And I get it for good reason. Young player, good development piece that you could see being a part of this defensive line and linebacker core for maybe some years to come down the road. But hey, man, you've got a lot of good football players around. And I just found the conversation around Isaiah Land to be just a little odd today, because when has a practice squad player ever got that many people charged up about the idea you were going to miss him? Because as much as I would have loved to keep Isaiah Land around here, I'm not going to get that charged up about missing him around here because, that's right, you got a lot of depth on the defensive line for the Dallas Cowboys that I think you can feel good about right now.
Sure. However, when it comes to the defensive ends, I forgot Junior Fehoko still on the roster.
By the way, a little surprised that Junior Fehoko made the roster because for me, not necessarily flash. Maybe I missed it. Did I miss a moment or two?
Apparently, I did too. I don't know.
I guess we missed it.
But again, I've already established intently watching in the preseason was not necessarily my bag.
Yeah.
You know what my favorite conversation is, and when I say that, I mean my incredibly least favorite, is 53-man cutdown. That being said, though.
And by the way, he was part of this draft class, so I guess he would make the roster.
There you go.
Usually not going to cut
There is a lot of depth. However, I think there is a particular point that you look at when it comes to the pass rushers and the defensive ends in that way. Dante Fowler Jr., shout out to that man, number 56. I say all of this with all due respect. That is a man that is over his football hill. Right? He is not getting better at football at this point.
I would say he's on the backside of his career.
I'm glad that we can establish that.
I would say that.
How good did you think he was last year?
He was very okay.
Aggressively fine is what you're going with. Okay,
fine,
fantastic.
Yes, very okay.
Isaiah Land, to the people that I trust in these things and who are absolutely paying attention to the trenches, Isaiah Land has the ability to play good football and has potential. Right?
A lot of upside there.
A lot of upside there. So I think for some of the people, I can't speak for all of them. In fact, I probably shouldn't speak for any of them. But I believe for some of the people, the idea is, hey, look, you've got a dude who can work into this rotation that has upside, and you're deciding to then forego that for a guy who is not necessarily, he's not a starter. I don't know if he's your second on either side when it comes to defensive end. And a guy who I do not think you are looking at any level of upside, and particularly in Dante Fowler Jr. And so, you look at the pass rushing, and you could easily have 5-6 guys in that pass rush room that all can do the job at a high level and have upside. I think that's the hope. And maybe that probably just points to the idea that the Cowboys roster's in a great place, that these are the nits that we are picking. But I think that's where people were coming from.
Yeah, and I would agree with that based off of the depth that they have on this defensive line. You look at the depth chart and what they've got put together here with DeMarcus Lawrence and Sam Williams, obviously with Jonathan Hankins and Mozzie Smith in the middle. You got Osa Odighizuwa, Neville Gallimore, who was able to make this roster once again. You still got Dorrance Armstrong and the aforementioned, Dante Fowler Jr. You look at the linebacker room, Leighton Vander Esch, Damone Clark. It looks like obviously Devin Harper is going to be one of your other linebackers as well with Demarion Overshown.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about this. Can I press pause on your conversation right there? Because this is, I don't know if it was in my feelings, but I was already looking in this space. I was watching this space earlier, as you can attest to, because multiple times where we had conversations with our friends who cover the Cowboys, I was like, hey, man, this Jabril Cox thing, what's happening?
Yeah.
And apparently what was happening is, see ya.
You asked Skywalker specifically about that when we had them in studio.
Because this is the thing. Yeah. It radiated from the team and the decisions that they did not have him in their plans, which, look, He was a dude that you drafted that clearly has some talent, but I can understand, okay, he's a dude who plays more coverage. You need dudes who can get into the gaps, attack the run and things of that nature and play solid. Okay, cool. Now you end up in this place where I'm looking at the linebackers, and there are 3 linebackers, maybe 4 if you do not want to consider Micah Parsons a rush end, even though he absolutely is a rush end.
Well, you're better than me because I got 2 in a possible. That's where I'm at. I got 2 in a possible.
I was trying to be nice.
We only got 2 hours, so might as well go all the way in.
All right, 2 in a possible. Leighton Vander Esch is a starting caliber linebacker in this league. Damone Clark is a starting caliber linebacker in this league.
Cool.
Shout out to Devin Harper. You're doing a great job on special teams. We love you, brother.
That's my possible right there.
And so, you leave yourself no room for anything. And look, maybe you just go, the standard is the standard. And if you do not meet the standard, then it can't be that. But then the question becomes, there's not even really room for rotation. And I understand they gave Marquise Bell the call and they were like, hey, dog, you don't play some linebacker too. You feel solid enough on that one? You feel good on that one?
No.
Okay. And Marquise Bell has played well, by the way. Every time I've seen him on the field, I've been like, yep.
Yeah, and
either fine or, hey, that was good.
Yeah, that's no discredit to him as a football player, but you look and you started to detail and lay it out, the depth of the linebacker room. How bad did it have to be for Jabril Cox for them to look at their linebacker room and the lack of depth that they have in it, and they still looked at my guys like, yeah, man, we're going to have to go in a different direction here. So that just gives you, if you're a Cowboys fan and someone who watches and enjoys this team, a little bit of trepidation about going into week 1 about the confidence, because you mentioned it. There is no room for error from an injury standpoint when it comes to the depth of this linebacker room. So, and that's a lot to ask that you're trying to, bank on the idea. And what we love.
No. Knock on, is there any wood in here? Can we knock on something?
I don't see no wood in here.
I mean, I'm not typically the dude who knocks on wood, but I feel like there's people listening everywhere that's, have that level of superstition. So I'm trying to hold it down for y'all because I know what he's about to say.
We're trying to bank on the idea. We love him. But damn it, we're trying to bank on the idea of Leighton Vander Esch staying healthy for 16 games, or excuse me, 17 games at this point.
Please address all of your hate mail to Kevin Gray Jr.
That's if you a Cowboys fan and someone who's paid attention to this team for as long as you have, what I'm talking about is a very real possibility. Tyron Smith.
Oh wow!
Like, come on, man, we don't have to play this game no more. Tyron Smith hasn't played a full season since 2015. Leighton Vander Esch can be injury prone at times.
Man, you need to calm down. You're talking about that's the starting left tackle of these Dallas Cowboys.
And I'm not telling a damn lie. Tell me when I'm telling lies, Medford. Mr. Punk, tell me when I'm telling lies.
Never.
Never. Thank you. So, again, if you're a Cowboy fan, you may feel like, okay, who's this who we're going to ride with? But that's a lot to ask for in this linebacker room right now.
And there's something to be understood is that, look, man, you look around and in this league, there's a roster limit, and that happens intentionally, right? You're not going to be able to fill this thing up with an abundance of backups everywhere. That being said, hey, Tyler Biadasz doesn't have one right now. I mean, let's go. And they brought him back. He's on the practice squad. It seems like they might do that 3 up, 3 down type thing. That's not even the right way of saying that, but they have the opportunity if you have someone on your practice squad to suit up in the game day squad for 3 games while on that practice squad. And I know that they brought in TJ Bass, who is a rookie that has a possibility of center. But, hey, just looking at the offensive line in general, Chuma Edoga, Asim Richards, TJ Bass are the ones that are on the roster as of right now. How you feeling, KG? How's that make you feel?
Not great.
Okay.
But based on what you have available to you, I mean, this is what you're going to have to ride with. I mean, good for TJ Bass for making this roster, by the way, 53-man roster.
Did I get that wrong? Well, Let's Go's on IR. Farniok is.
Yeah. Bass made the 53-man. So, I mean, happy for him. Richards as well were able to play themselves onto this roster throughout the course of the preseason. But you mentioned we go to the practice squad. Brock Hoffman, Sean Harlow, who they brought in as well, are your 2 centers.
There we go. Thank you.
Behind Tyler Biadasz at this point.
Right.
This is what you have at this point. That's right, 254. Somebody pays attention to professional wrestling. That's right. So this is what this team is going to ride with. If you feel like there was some upside with Jabril Cox, who some Cowboys fans still haven't, wanting to give up on, but he has been claimed by the Washington Commanders, so he will not be a part of this team anymore, as Washington has picked him up at this point.
Were there any names that were on the roster that you were surprised by? We already talked about Junior Fihoko again.
And I had to backtrack on that just a little bit because he was part of your 2023 draft class.
Sure, absolutely.
You're not going to necessarily
and
cut.
I'm like, obviously, all the dudes are on. Again, I want to step back and say this is a good roster, right? That is the understanding with which we have all of these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, you have a fullback on the Dallas Cowboys again. What's happening, everybody? How y'all feel?
Okay, so
shout out to Hunter Lepke.
I didn't understand why people got charged up about the idea that Hunter Lepke wasn't going to be around here. If you had paid attention, they gave this man $200,000 when he got here as an undrafted free agent signing here, and they gave him a guaranteed $200,000.
You got to open your third eyes because they knew that they needed a North Dakota State brother for when they brought Trey Lance in. You got to open your third eye.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
They was laying groundwork, KG.
I see what you're doing there. But yeah, he wasn't going anywhere. And if you pay attention to Mike McCarthy teams in the past, Mike McCarthy loves himself a fullback.
He sure does.
Okay, and Hunter Lepke, especially in the final preseason game against the Raiders, played well.
He acquitted himself well. He
played
did.
well, and I thought deserved a roster spot on this team. So between what you have in your running back room with Lepke now being added to it, happy for Deuce Vaughn, obviously. But yeah, Lepke wasn't going around here, man. I knew that when this. Yeah, we gave him $200,000 guarantees, an undrafted free agent. Yeah, he's gonna be here. So again, a lot of different things for Mike McCarthy to play with on the offense. One thing, and look, man, I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care what you say about it. I'm glad Kelvin Joseph out of here. Been off that narcotic. Ready to get him out of here. And the fact that they were able to turn him into a
Noah Igbonagane, who is a Nigerian. So you know what's happening.
That's gonna be
we going up, baby.
I say
Nigerian quarterbacks
all
back,
season
baby.
long. Say it one more time for the people.
Noah Igbonagane. It's not. I done failed. However, please know,
brother ain't been here for 30 seconds.
My brother is Igbo. I am Yoruba. I am doing my best.
Okay.
Igbinogene. I believe that's close.
What's his first name? Noah?
Noah, that's right.
What's his last name start with?
I know you. Noah I.
That's it.
And this is the thing.
Mr. I is what I'm going to call. That's it right there. Mr. I.
I don't want to prophesy this into his future, but seeing how Noah has played in the past, there's a possibility that y'all not just going to call him nothing but the Mark. But
Damn.
Yeah, I know how y'all treat cornerbacks around here. It's happened. I know what.
Speaking of our phone calls, that's something that we talk about all the time. When we watch the game together, hey, who the Mark today? Who the Mark? Mr. I gonna be the Mark? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that's going to be the case. I'm saying that that's a possibility. You did get him for Kelvin Joseph. Just remember that.
The fact that they turned that player into something good for Will McClay in this franchise.
Well,
because yikes.
Yeah.
I was ready to get him out the paint anyway.
Y'all be nice to my boy Noah, okay?
Mr. I, what's I like to call him? From the 972, we can laugh at it now. It doesn't matter. Kevin, you didn't like Boss Man Fat's mixtapes?
I don't think I listened to him.
I didn't.
Y'all don't protect y'all peace?
Because definitely mine was protected by not listening to any of that.
I listened.
How'd you find it?
I didn't enjoy myself particularly, but yeah.
Was there any?
How long was it?
Any redeeming qualities in there?
Oh, I made it through like 3 songs. I don't even remember how long.
3 songs?
Yeah. I just had to.
Were there any redeeming qualities? Was there anything where you're like, okay, well, that's nice?
I mean, there were some decent beats.
Okay.
But of course, he didn't produce them.
So no?
No.
Okay.
Not really.
All right.
I regret life choices, KG.
How long did you listen to that?
What was that? Probably like 9 minutes.
So that's 9 minutes you'll never be able to get back.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing? Man, you were just...
He not here no more. Those are the cuts that were had you in your feelings there for the Cowboys. On here on 105 through the Fan. Good for you for doing the Lord's work and listening to any of that for the 9 minutes that you did. Because I wasn't going to do any of that.
From the 817, is Hunter Lepke the next John Kuhn? I don't know.
Yep.
What are the fans going to say? Like, what's the chant? What's the chant for Lepke?